Hey, welcome back. I just wanted to point out something. I had tweeted out about how I think it to somebody about them voting for Biden that he is, in fact, a pedophile because when he was VP, he grabbed little girls without their consent and smelled them in a sexual way. You could tell he was turned on by the way he smelled them. And someone decided to call me out and call me a monster and say that I was victimizing children. And I had to tweet at them that basically these are preteen girls who can't give consent. And for you not to recognize that makes you a sick motherfucker. And basically, yes, what he did as VP is considered sexual assault. Because definition, if you grab someone without permission, which, by the way, he never once got permission even from the adults he did it to, is considered sexual assault, making him a pedophile and a rapist. That's not even bringing the fact that Tara Reid, who accused him of raping her back in the 90s, who every single Democratic female candidate running for president all said he did and still said they were voting for him. Compared to when Trump said a joke on a bus over 10 years ago to Billy Bush that CNN edited to make it seem like, oh my God, he's actually talking about grabbing women by the pussy. No, the joke went, "What, Billy, why do you grab a woman by the pussy?" Billy's laughing his ass off and says, "I don't know. Why? Because they ask you to." Ta-da-da. There's the joke. It's a shitty joke, but it's a joke. He wasn't actually saying grab women by the pussy. If you've ever looked at if you knew anything about what a woman's vagina looks like, it's kind of almost impossible to grab. Unless you, insert your fingers like Joe Biden did to Tara Reid. That being put aside, anybody who wants to come at me for calling Joe Biden a pedophile for the fact that when he was VP, he grabbed preteen little girls who can't give consent, not his children, not his grandchildren, and smell them where clearly he was getting turned on. And when he did it to Chris Coon's daughter, who tried to pull away and looked like she wanted to run for the hills, he grabs and pulls her back in so he can get turned on. You are the sick fucker who voted for a pedophile and put him in the White House. You are the one that have no problem with this man being a predator. Unlike Donald Trump, who you could never prove ever sexually assaulted one woman, including all the women that came out in 2016 claiming all these terrible things after he was elected. They found these women and they all admitted they made it all up because they wanted to prevent him from winning the election. For a woman who wanted to go to war, a woman whose own husband is a rapist, a pedophile. Oh, and by the way, she defended a man who raped a 13-year-old girl and blamed the girl for it. And she laughed about it at a time, and also said that she lost all faith in the lie detector when he passed it, which, by the way, as we know, lie detectors are garbage. So yes, for the person who thinks I victimized these children because I point out that what Joe Biden did was actual sexual assault, fuck you on all levels. Fuck any of you who voted for Biden and defend him and want to call Trump a monster and well, congratulations, asshole. Joe Biden's actually acting like a dictator with the way he's talking about Florida. Trump never stepped on states. He asked them if they wanted to stop the rioting last summer, just ask him, he'll send in the National Guard. He never stepped on their feet. He never prevented them from denying. And the only reason in Portland he had federal agents there or because of federal courthouse, which is federal property. That was it. Otherwise, he stayed out of the state's way and let them run their states how they wanted to. If he wanted to be a dictator, he could have taken their rights away and said, no, you can't shut yourselves down. Now, for Biden to say he's going to stop, he's going to, punish Florida because they won't wear masks because their governor's against it, and by banning their travel is what a dictator would do. And also, here's another thing, shit for brains. If Biden calls Donald Trump a dictator for using executive orders, what do you call Biden, who used 42 of them in his first days of being in the White House? Biden is a dictator. You elected him. He's a sexual predator. He's a pederast. And fuck you, I was right. And go to hell. And by the way, I love how all of you are having buyer's remorse because you thought I'd get a free $2,000 check when you're not. This isn't free money. You're going to hyperinflate the dollar in a time where we're in a depression, as I've said. And then you're going to crash the stock market. You're going to crash the economy like what happened in 1929 and create the great global depression. We're not in a recession. We're actually in an economic depression. And it's only going to get worse because now Biden says, hey, illegal aliens, you can come in here and take people's jobs from them. So he wants to put every American out of work for his new slaves, which are the illegals. He wants to come in here and use them as free labor. So, bye. Yeah, enjoy your day. And as Razor Fist would say, God fucking speed, and fuck you, I was right, to the sack of shit who tried to attack me for calling Joe Biden a pedophile. Here's a finger.